Hey there guys, John here. February and March have been really good to me in terms of getting stuff that I've been looking for the NES, so figured it was about time to do a pickup video, so here we go. Okay, so like I said, this has been a really successful couple of months for me. I've been doing a lot of traveling, so whenever I travel, I usually stop at a retro game store or two on the way there or on the way back. I'm based out of Virginia, so pickups from today come anywhere from New Jersey to other places in Virginia. There's a couple in Pennsylvania, that sort of thing. So I've been all over the place. It's been pretty fun. Even got one really cool one from DC, and that's actually the last one I'll do. But just to get things started, I figured I'd go over my the stuff that I just found locally first, and explain a little bit about why I picked the things up that I did. So first, I got Q*bert here. Q*bert is just so you guys can see. Q*bert is relatively common actually, and I didn't I paid about list price for this, which is like $7-8, just because it's something I've been wanting to have in my collection for a while. For some reason, it was a hole. Now, I've gone over a couple of these already in some other videos that I've done, but this is a bigger video with everything, and I'll go a little more in depth. This is RC Pro-Am, and actually, this is like, I think they wanted $8 for it, and I got it for $4, because there was a gigantic, like $8.99 in permanent marker down here from like a previous seller that had sold it, and I was like, hey, can I get a discount, because, the thing's messed up. Well, if there's marker or kind of any kind of marks really on just about any part of the cart, it's actually pretty easy to get off most of the time. Knowing this, I said, hey, there's marker on it. Can you give me a deal since it's damaged? Knowing that I could get that marker off, and honestly, they could have too if they were not too lazy to Google how to do that. But anyway, so I got RC Pro-Am for $4. I think that's a really good price. Got Castlevania 2, which for some reason I was missing. I'll definitely do a Let's Play of this here eventually, because I've actually never finished this game. And I do really like it a lot. But, I know that it's kind of polarizing. Not a lot of people like it. And to that regard, I actually had to pick up Solomon's Key, because the guy at the pawn shop that I got it at, which had pretty good prices actually, said, you know what, I'll only sell you Castlevania if you buy Solomon's Key for $4. Okay, I think I'll do that. Because he just hated Castlevania, and I think he felt bad for me that I was buying it for some reason. I just told him that I was doing it to complete the set. So anyways, there you go. So Castlevania 2, Solomon's Key, that was fun. Solar Jetman. This one I played a lot when I was a kid. Got really frustrated. Don't know if I ever even beat the first level, but it's a really cool game. And a lot of this stuff that I got, and nothing that I've shown you guys yet. Oh yeah, RC Pro-Am as well. A lot of this stuff that I got, I'm filling out my rare collection. And not rare as in hard to find, but like as in rare the software company. I'm trying to get everything that they've ever done. And I've got quite a few already, but Solar Jetman was one of the holes in that particular collection. So, got that one. Cleaned it up, too. It wasn't in great shape. There was a bunch of gunk all over the label. Got Tom and Jerry. This one, it's an okay little platformer. Back at the end of the NES's life, they were pretty much choosing anything that they could get their hands on that had a license and making a platformer out of it. So you got some really good ones, like I've got Bucky O'Hare back here. And you've got, Chip and Dale and all the Disney ones, obviously. But then you had stuff like Tom and Jerry, which is an okay platformer. It's kind of shovelware. It's not bad. It's just not amazing. Anyways, it's fairly rare. I haven't really actually come across this since I was a kid. So I was like, you know what? $10, I'll buy it. It's probably a little overpriced, but who knows when I'll see another one. So that works. Bugs Bunny Birthday Blowout. This one doesn't get enough love, I feel. This is actually one of my favorite platformers on the NES. And for some reason, I didn't have it. So basically, a lot of my NES stuff, I've got about 200 NES games, and I'm missing some. I don't know why. For some reason, I don't know, child me didn't see fit to keep up with everything. And I had this. I know I had this at one point. So you know what? I just went ahead and picked it up again when I saw it. Label was in good shape. I just figured, you know what? It's time to fill that hole. I got Marble Madness. This is another Rare game, and Milton Bradley published a lot of Rare's early games on the NES, and everybody knows Marble Madness. It's a good one. Dang hard, but a good game. And then there's Captain Skyhawk. Captain Skyhawk is another Rare game, and people don't generally know much about it. It's almost like an NES version of Star Fox. And it's really fun. It's dang hard. But another interesting story, I posted about this when I picked it up on Twitter, and the guy that created it commented, and so we've been talking. And so that's been a lot of fun too. But no, Captain Skyhawk, if you haven't seen this, if you haven't played this, really you should get it. It's like a $4 game. It's totally worth it if you're looking at building a budget NES collection. It's different than anything else on the system. Definitely worth checking out. Alright, and that's all my local pickups. So now I'm going to start highlighting stuff from some places that I went on my travels. So first, I went to visit some friends in Hampton Roads, Virginia Beach area, so I picked up a couple things. There's a local chain there called Video Game Heaven, and I've had pretty good experiences with them in the past. Had an interesting situation with them this time, but first I'll show you what I got. I went ahead and picked up, it's just basically just a bunch of cheap stuff that, again, filling holes in the collection. But I got Iron Sword, which is Wizards and Warriors 2, which had a little bit of label damage down here, so I got it for like $3, and I actually was able to repair that pretty well. You can still see a little bit, but it's stuck back down in place now, so that's good. So that's Iron Sword. Not an amazing game, kind of fun. Rescue the Embassy Mission. I had no idea this game even existed until seeing it on Metal Jesus' channel, and he recommended it. And so, you know what? I found it for $4, and I was like, sure, why not? Went ahead and streamed it. I finished it in like 20 minutes. It's not a long game at all, but it is extremely versatile. There's some first-person shooter parts of it. There's one of those old NES, like we're inside the building and you can go forward, left, right, or back type of thing. You know, it's kind of like that's kind of first-person shootery. There's a sniper segment. There's like a belaying on a rope segment. There's some stealth stuff. It's a really, really versatile game. It's just dang short, but definitely worth $4 if you see it. Definitely pick it up. And then there's Legacy of the Wizard. Now, I did a retro restoration video on this, and anybody that's watched that knows I was not able to get this thing to work. When I opened this thing up, it had corrosion all over the board, and or all over the contacts on the board, and I just, there was nothing I could do to get this thing to work. So I think I'm probably going to end up sending this one off to John Riggs to see if he can do anything with it. But all that said, Legacy of the Wizard, again, really cheap, really common game. It was for $4, and I was like, you know what? I should just have that in my collection. It's kind of one of those, kind of like Millen's Secret Castle. It's a cult classic kind of thing that a lot of people like, and it's kind of an obscure game, and it kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But it's an interesting concept, and doing the retro restoration video on it, I also looked up the soundtrack for it, and actually the soundtrack is really good. It's a really good NES soundtrack, so if you're interested in that kind of stuff, definitely check that one out. Very, very interesting. And then my next group of stuff, which I did not get from Video Game Heaven, thankfully, is from a place in Harrisonburg, Virginia, called Monster Games. And this place is actually really cool. They've got a ton of stuff, really, really good prices on most of their stuff. And I got there, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a few things. Like, for instance, I got The Goonies 2, which is a really good game, by the way. I mean, not like Super Mario Bros. 3 good, but definitely Hidden Gem good. Really versatile game, and I got it for $2.99. And actually, I got it even cheaper than that, because everything used when I went in there was 25% off that week. So, everything I picked up, I got for 25% off, which was pretty sweet. So, Goonies 2 was the first one. Probably the least exciting. Batman, which I never played, somehow, being a superhero fan as a kid. Never rented this on the NES. Don't know why. It's kind of like Ninja Gaiden. And a really dang fun game. If you can find this thing, find it, play it. It's like $8 normally, and it was 25% off, so I got it for $6. Like, that's nothing. Totally worth it. And then a couple that I had been looking to pick up for a while that tend to go for a little bit more. I took advantage of the 25% off thing. I got Ghosts and Goblins because apparently I'm a glutton for punishment. I suck at this game. I'm horrible at it, but I love playing it for some reason. So, anyways, it needed to be in my collection. It finally is. So I'm glad that I did that. And then also Super C. So I'll take this one out. Normally this is like a $20 game. So I got it for about $15. Totally happy with that purchase. My only complaint, which this really isn't anything on Monster Games, but somebody, obviously this label was coming up at some point, and before I got to it, somebody glued it back down. And whatever they glued it back down with, it like ate the text off of the Nintendo seal of quality right there. The label looks fine, mostly. It's kind of, if you look at it in the right light, it's got kind of this little wavy pattern to it. But, I mean, on a shelf, nobody's going to notice the difference. And like I said, Super C for like $14 or whatever it was I said I got it for. Totally worth it. Definitely a good place. If you're near Harrisonburg, Virginia, ever driving through, Monster Games, totally a great place to stop. And then I was up visiting a friend in DC. This is actually one of my holy grails. And it's not necessarily a really expensive holy grail, just one that I've had a heck of a hard time finding. But I was up visiting a friend in DC, and there's a website called estarland.com, which it's a retro gaming website. They've been around for a long time. They sell retro games. Most of the stuff there is overpriced. So I've never actually bought anything from them before. But I found out, just Googling what retro game stuff was in the DC area, their warehouse, like where they have all their stuff and ship it out from, is in DC. So that was pretty cool. And I was like, you know what? I know they're overpriced, but we got to go check this thing out. And so I got in there, and it's just wall-to-wall games and retro stuff from like every system, import stuff, like so much stuff. And I found one that I've been looking for forever. So most of you guys probably know, if you watch my Twitch channel, I'm a huge fan of the Disney Capcom games. I have just about all of them. I'm only missing Darkwing Duck and Chip 'n Dale 2, and I will get those one day. But before that, I was also missing Tailspin. And this one's interesting because, for some reason, Disney decided to include it in their HD Afternoon Collection remake that they're doing. I think that releases this month, actually. But anyways, Tailspin is a shmup made by the Disney Capcom team, the same guys that did DuckTales and Chip 'n Dale and all those. And it feels like one of those games, even though it's a shmup. Also, interesting thing about this one is you can actually reverse direction, kind of like you can in Fantasy Zone. It's dang hard. It's not an easy game, but it is a lot of fun. I think I got it for like $15 at East Starland, which is actually like $2 more than the going rate if you look it up on price charting. But I'm really happy about it because I've been looking for a copy of this, and I don't usually buy things online because I can't see the shape of the label or what shape the card is in or check the pins or anything like that. So to find one of these out in the wild in a place where I could actually buy it and put my hands on it before I bought it is an opportunity I've been looking for a long time. So I'm really happy to get this thing. And this is definitely my holy grail of my February and March finds. And that was about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago or so. So that's about it. And so you can see I've had some pretty good luck lately. Got some things that I've been looking for. So if you like this video, go ahead and just mash that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. I got some other stuff on here, Let's Plays, pickup videos, reviews, that sort of thing. Should have more content coming here pretty soon. And until then, I guess I'll see you guys next time.